back to the Magpie Channel TV. Another day, another transfer update. Just over 1 week left of this transfer window, and it's all kicking off still with some more updates today. All outgoings, all exit only. Who would have thought, eh? But obviously, one of these exits does eventually happen. Hopefully, someone will come in. The entrance door will be open for the first time this month. Before we do get into today's video, please do subscribe to the channel and give it a like. We were back last night doing a 1 hour long plus episode of our brand new podcast, Magpie Channel Podcast. We used to do them back in the day, mainly not much since COVID times, to be honest with you. But me and Keg back on it now every week with a brand new podcast. We have special guests in our podcast as well, so make sure you check them out. They're on Spotify and everything as well, if you want to listen to just the audio when you're walking the dog, when you're in the shower, at the gym, whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? So they're there for you to enjoy. And what else is available to enjoy is the white hats. I've got mine on because I've just come in from my walk, stormy as it is there, blowing a Dwight gale. So to keep your head nice and warm, get yourself a Magpie Channel hat, backed by popular demand. The white ones, they are now in stock. Not many left already. TheMagpieChannel.com. Okay then, so the main transfer news so far today, and by the time this video comes out, about 5 PM, it's currently 4:20 now, so maybe even after 5:30 something, it'll be probably old news. There'll probably be an update on it. That's how quick these things are moving and evolving. But the big one today was that Kieran Trippier to Bayern Munich is off. It is off. It's not happening anymore, according to Sky Sports News. They were on earlier saying that Bayern Munich will not come in for another bid after having a €15 million rejected bid yesterday for the England right back. Apparently Bayern Munich have now withdrawn from conversations after again trying earlier today. This morning there was internal negotiations and discussions between both clubs, but Newcastle United are still insistent that he's not for sale. Bayern Munich don't want to pay over the price for Trippier, so anything over what they've offered, the €50 million, I guess they are saying is overpriced. So that's it then. It looks like Bayern Munich are going to move on. Or is it? Do you know what I mean? How clear is this? Will this change? It could change. Maybe if Trippier says, well, I am actually interested in the move, and Newcastle go, Trippier another few million in there. But apparently, contrary to reports a few days ago that was saying Trippier wants to leave and he wants to go to Bayern Munich, now it's saying that he's not fussed, basically. Apparently, he's really flattered with the interest from the German giants, but he's happy to stay. He's more than happy to stay with Eddie Howe. He loves it. He loves the team, loves the city and everything. So it looks like Trippier's pretty chilled about the situation. He's not trying to force a move. If he was trying to force a move, like Harry Kane style, then Bayern Munich eventually got their man. Maybe in this case, they think, nah, do you know what? Newcastle, they're not selling him. There's only a week or so left of the window. Let's move on. And it does look that way, according to reports in Germany and now in the UK that are insisting that Bayern Munich have gave up, they withdrew in the offer, and they're not going to go back in for another one. I'm quite surprised, really, because I think throughout this, they've said that Trippier has been open to the move, he fancies it, he's interested in it. And, I mean, who wouldn't be? Especially at his age, 33, for a chance to go to one of the biggest teams in the world. I don't blame him. But I'm surprised that Newcastle rejected the offer. Said it last night on the podcast, and I won't go into it too much so you can hear our thoughts on it there, because last night it came out, €15 million rejection. I thought Bayern will come back in with another 3-4 million there, and Newcastle might just be tempted. Because in Trippier, his value is going down by the day with his age. Do you know what I mean? The older he gets, the less valuable he becomes. And Darren Eales has mentioned, selling players for your FFP. They've obviously just looked at that and thought, losing Trippier, a player of his quality, of his stature, of his status in the dressing room, our captain / vice captain of Lascelles players, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? They're thinking, 12-13 million pounds. I'm surprised though, because like I said, Tino's there. It still gets a big wage off our books. I think it's because it's January. I think if this offer came in the summer, it would make sense for the parties to do it and it would get done. But I think at this stage in our season, in January, 8 days left of the window, they're thinking, it is, we cannot lose him now. We can't lose. And again, it's not just Trippier. Yes, he's had a terrible run of form the last couple of months. Before that, he's been absolutely outstanding for the Toon. And you think, it's not just that, is it? It's everything he brings as the whole package, what he's bringing in the dressing room, off the pitch, his methods, his leadership skills, his demands, what he asks of the players. He sets an example, do you know what I mean? So he's one of those figures in the dressing room that you need, and obviously Eddie Howe is saying, because I think the owners would be like, maybe we should, he's 34 this year, a bit of money. But they're obviously saying that too vital, too pivotal, too important to this team. So for now, it looks like Trippier stays. Do not be surprised if there is more twists and turns in that saga and anyone we're going to talk about in this video, because that's the way the transfer window works. How many times have we seen a report saying he's going, he's staying, and the opposite happens? So, but that is the latest update on this Wednesday afternoon. That Trippier to Bayern is off at the moment because Munich do not want to pay more than they have already offered. 50 million euros rejected. Now then, our captain, Lascelles, when he plays, is apparently off to Turkey. According to reports in that country, they are very bullish over there that Besiktas have agreed a deal to sign Lascelles and they are going to announce him soon. So all the Turkish media outlets are reporting that Jamal Lascelles to Besiktas is done. They're all saying it's done, it's dusted, he'll be announced soon, everything's been going swimmingly, the player's coming over, yet nothing has been talked about in the UK, which kind of suggests that maybe it is going to get done and nobody can really say anything yet, or the sources haven't got enough credibility on it. But if they're over there in Turkey, they're so confident, but nobody out here is denying it, that strikes a bit of a strange one to me, because you think, like we've done with all the other deals, that your Sky Sports, your BBCs, your newspapers would be saying, nah, Jamal Lascelles is staying, I've heard from the club he's staying, he's not going anywhere. Nobody is mentioning Jamal Lascelles. Nobody's saying he's staying or going, which I find is quite bizarre, really. He's really going under the radar, this move. Everything else that is happening with your Trippiers, your Almirons, which we'll get into in a minute, Wilson's in this window. So the Lascelles deal is completely going unnoticed. So, well, that's the way you believe those Turkish outlets. I mean, like I said, I'm just surprised nobody's came out and denied it or approved it. But at the minute, they're all saying that they're very confident of getting Lascelles, and Newcastle are happy to sell him because he would leave on a free in the summer. So again, how much money are you going to get for him? Jamal Lascelles, you're only going to get a few million, you'd expect, if he runs out this summer. But I guess that few million is better than no million, no pennies in the summer when his contract does expire, if we weren't going to extend it. Maybe Jamal Lascelles is getting that point in his career now where he's been at Newcastle for, what, nearly a decade? And he's thinking, oh, well, I'm not playing unless there's an injury. I want to be playing. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, get yourself a move to Turkey, sunshine kebabs, just didn't end up like in Dombelli over there in Galatasaray. Get his teeth done, whatnot, make it a hair transplant. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you may fancy a new challenge, and we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out. If anybody actually reports on it. Or is this just going to be a case of quickly Lascelles is arriving at a Turkish airport, looks like it's getting done. Wait and see. Now the one we're really waiting to see on, and this is the big one considering the price tags that have been mentioned, is Miguel Almiron to Al-Shabaab. Various reports are now saying that it has been agreed for Almiron to go to Al-Shabaab. The clubs, Newcastle United and Al-Shabaab, have agreed a deal, accepted the transfer fee. We don't know what it is yet. We're led to believe it should be about 30 million, which is amazing. Definitely take that. But now it's up to the club Al-Shabaab over in the Saudi Pro League to discuss terms with Miggy. So it's down to the player now. It's down, even though a few days ago, apparently the terms have been agreed with Almiron, and we're waiting on the club accepting our offer. They'd originally offered the tune 20 odd million for Almiron, and we were pushing closer to that 30 million mark because Miggy's not so long ago signed a new contract. He's got 2.5 years left, something out in his deal. He is 30 this year though. And Al-Shabaab have apparently agreed a fee with Newcastle United. But Ben Jacobs, who did originally break the news of Almiron going over to Saudi, and then everyone else picked up on it, he has also said that a fee has been agreed between both clubs, and now they are speaking to Miggy. So I expect this one to be done, because the Saudi, they've got all the money in the world. I'm sure it's just a case of, Almiron, how much you getting at the minute? Right, Sam, we'll triple it. Okay, bye-bye. You like Saudi? You love Saudi? In between us reference, looks like the Manchester kid. So I think Miggy will go. I think I can see this one getting done. Surprised if it didn't. I mean, 30 million. If we can get around 30 million for Almiron, not being too disrespectful, but take that. Snap their hands off for it. Have a bit of that, please. I will be taking that all day long. And then that would actually help with financial fair play. Unlike the Wilson, unlike the Trippier, because it's not much. Lascelles, if he goes for a few million to Turkey, then 30 million will actually really help us. Because remember, we sold Alan St. Maximin to Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal in the summer, 23 million, something like that was. That obviously allowed us to go ahead and get the Harvey Barnes deal done in the Lewis Hall. So it would really help us get at least one player. If we sold Almiron, we will most definitely be signing at least one, maybe even two players in the last week of this January transfer window. So hopefully, Miggy can agree personal terms and that deal can get wrapped up very soon. Again, we talked about Almiron in depth on the podcast last night, so go back and listen to that. Finally, another exit that is on the horizon, but a bit further along the horizon, a bit further down the sunset. This one is Martin Dubravka, who apparently wants out of Newcastle. This is what iNews have been reporting today. Mark Douglas there online has been saying that Martin Dubravka, it's his exclusive, wants to leave Newcastle United because he is now getting sick of being that number 2. Obviously, he's number 1 at the minute, but we know the second that Nick Pope can fasten those gloves back on his wrists, he will be straight back into the goal, and Dubravka will be straight back onto the bench, freezing his Slovakian arse off. So, is he Slovakian, Slovenian? One of the two. So anyways, he doesn't want to be number 2 anymore, basically, which leaves us with a massive goalkeeping dilemma. Crisis is what these are calling it in this article, because Loris Karius is leaving in the summer, his contract's up. Mark Gillespie, his contract's up, even though he'll probably get renewed. He's just here forever, chilling, having a great time. Who knows what happened to him? Probably renew it, because, like I said, 3rd, 4th choice, never has to do anything. Amazing job. And then, obviously, you've got Dubravka and Pope. Pope will stay. You could be losing 2 to 3 goalkeepers there in the summer. So, as I said in this article, it will be a big shift in the summer and a big transfer dilemma to sort out, I'd imagine. You're going to have to sign 1 or 2 keepers in the summer. Dubravka obviously isn't going to leave now that he's getting game time in this January window. Sort him out for the upcoming Euros. And obviously in January, you're limited options and stuff, so it will be in the summer, if you believe that article there, where apparently he wants to leave and get first team football. Also, there's reports in that same thing though, saying, or is it him pushing for a new deal and trying to get a new 2-year contract, which could apparently be on the table for him. So, or a price boost, little wage price boost, not sky there, or a pay rise. Pay rise is the word I was looking for. I'm getting tired now. It's been a long day. So anyways, that's the news. Dubravka wants out. Lascelles is off to Turkey. Almiron's on the verge of Saudi Arabia, just needs to agree personal terms. And Trippier, for now, is staying in the Toon. Drop your comments below, people, what you think of all those transfer rumours. Subscribe to my channel TV. Give her a big thumbs up. And enjoy yourself.